These people might need help. Look at this thing. This one's broke. For rent, the white building with the red stripe. Here we go. We're at the Flying J in the casino. I am sick of them talking. Good morning, beautiful person. It is currently 5:20 and we got a dash for Starbucks, $6. So I noticed that, sometimes I wake up early and I check Dasher and it always says very busy. We are on a delivery, so I don't really have time to spend a lot of time showing you, but there's something that's really interesting for sale. It's like a really old fire truck. It's so cool. In order to make up what we've been missing, we need $197 today and tomorrow. It's 12:30 now, and we have $50. Maybe we can repair it later. There it goes. We can hit 197. We get to open the pack of magic cards. Fernley does seem like the type of town that's not very great at night and a lot better in the morning. There's a couple places up here for rent, like if we end up deciding not to do the OK Tire Shop stuff. So all we can do is just keep doing the best we can and not get frustrated. I still think no matter what, we're gonna purchase the land. If we put the goals in front of ourselves, like maybe 900 isn't doable. I think that it is. It's just we have to manage our time a lot better. This place is for sale. I'm about to go into a rant where I just beat myself up. So all I'm gonna say is that instead, let's just stay positive and keep trying. All we can do is just keep moving forward. We can obviously figure out what we're doing wrong and make it better as we go. 10:20 and we've made $80, which isn't too bad. So what I'm thinking is we break now. Since we're switching to the rotisserie chicken, we're not gonna eat the whole chicken in one sitting. Food or whatever gets bacteria, something doesn't last for hours or something, I don't know. There's health things with that, like I can't just buy the chicken and then let it sit and not be consuming it. So it has to be consumed within 3 to 4 hours or something. I'm not really sure, I can look it up. We're gonna need to figure out a good time to purchase the chicken, and then we'll just slowly eat it throughout that time frame. So I think that the good time would be maybe 3 or 4. It's really sick though. One of the care package items Mark brought was a portable shower from Edge. Once we get that going, it's gonna save us a lot of money. And there's also a garage for rent further up. I'll show you that too. But no matter what, we're gonna purchase the foundation, because even though we have no ties to Gokonda, Gokonda's a decently centralized area and the value is so good. So there's nothing in Gokonda, but it's next to Winnemucca. It's not too far from Fernley, and I like Fernley a lot, honestly. Mark offered us a place to stay with him for 4 months in Vegas, and eventually, once we decide exactly how that's going to work, I'm going to let the community decide whether we go down there or not. No matter what, we're going to go down there in a few days, about a week, less than a week. So to see Juan has a VW Golf, and it's having overheating issues. So we basically ordered a radiator and all the hoses, a new thermostat, and flush kit, as well as new coolant. So we're gonna go ahead and do all that for him while we're in Vegas. If we do the training arc with Mark, then we might be able to. It also just depends on how the content does. We're slowly growing, but I understand that the vlog isn't something that's gonna really grow the channel. But maybe once we can get some of the Speeduino videos up, and once we get partnered and get AdSense, I think some of our how-to videos might pull in $20 a month or something with videos we have. So little every little bit will count, and you know, we're starting to make some progress on PokeChat, and after that's completed, and then we can start working on the website, and then maybe potentially sell Hyperfighter, but that's probably unlikely. So it's a little after 1 now, and I had a successful shower and edit session, but the Starbucks and McDonald's have like terrible device too hot. It's so crazy. It's not even hot in here. We're closing the poll for the phone versus vlog, and so we'll announce the winner right now. We're also going to close the poll for the Coolant, the old one versus new, or the OEM versus Peep. Their Wi-Fi for uploading is way better than Starbucks and McDonald's. It's 3 o'clock now, and we have made $30, so we have 90 more to go. Is that right? And we're going to get the chicken, and yeah, because I haven't eaten, well, I mean, I've eaten bananas and stuff. Bananas and some tomatoes, and so because that's kind of the plan. We're gonna try to just eat a chicken a day, and I don't know, it's like a food challenge or something, I don't know, but like it's enough protein for a whole day, and it's cheap. Like if all I'm eating is a chicken and some bananas and tomatoes, some avocados, like my cost of is gonna be like less than $10. Okay. So I guess this is the strategy. In between dashes, or while we're going to the next dash, we're just gonna put it in our lap and eat it. Okay, that's not gonna work. That's extremely messy. I tried to use a fork and that was like flying everywhere, and I'm like all over the road. So I just resorted to my hands, and then my hands are dirty. Luckily I have towels and stuff to clean it in here, to clean my hands and stuff, but we're gonna have to process it tomorrow. So we'll like shred it or something. I'm not really sure. Okay, it is 5:22 and we have $60, and we're on our way to get another, I think $8 or $12, I don't remember, but it's to grocery outlet. And I wanted to say that $180 a day, $900 a week, I don't think is really, it's doable, but it just doesn't make sense here in Fernley. We also don't need $800 or $900 a week. You know, we realistically only need like $300 a week, if that. But I want to really like push it and advance our goals. So I was trying to see how far we could go. And now that we've kind of like, you know, assessed the situation, we failed our goal 3 days in a row now. We're likely not going to make the 197 that we need to make to catch back up. So I think we're going to reestablish ourselves at the end of this dash, or at the end of today, and kind of see where we're at. I do think 800 is very doable, or 150 a day or something like that. It's more important for us to be spending our time and efforts on the channel, as well as the, you know, website and our programs, and advancing our reality games and moving that agenda forward, than it is to make as much cash as possible. Figure out what was doable and what our limitations are. So I do think that it's been good for us to push ourselves and create incentives to see how far we can go, like opening the booster pack. We still will not open the booster pack unless we make 197 today. So, I mean, that incentivizes me to do that even more, because I really want to open up the Final Fantasy booster pack. And we haven't done all of the math, like how long it would take us at X number of dollars per week, per whatever, to get the plot and all that. Like, we haven't done all of the math. So we're not, like, we don't have a real timeline or trajectory. We've just been sort of collecting data right now to try to understand what it takes to get what in certain areas. You know, like we were deciding if we were, like, at first we were kind of like hooked to Winnemucca due to living at the danger zone, but now the only thing that keeps us around the Winnemucca area, really Gokonda, is our peel box in Gokonda. So, I mean, we could switch to a peel box in Fernley, and then just stay in Fernley. That would save us money going back and forth. There's really no reason for us to go to Winnemucca. The only reason, like I said, was to pick up our parts as we ordered them to upgrade the car, and so that way we have structured videos we can create. The thing is, now we're kind of in a position where, you know, we have two options. So here's the next, this is like the first fate quest, I don't know, decision point. You know, like in all the RPGs, there's the big choice where you can decide who you're gonna waifu with, or you're gonna pick if you're gonna enemy the one person or whatever. Like, this is the decision point for us. So, and you're gonna get to make this decision in the community. Please vote in the community tab whether we're gonna go to Mark's in Vegas and stay there for 4 months. We're gonna call that the training arc. Well, we're gonna call this next section the training arc. So we have two options for this training arc. We can either go to Vegas with Mark and stay there for 4 months. And within that 4 month period, we'll figure out what we need in order to obtain enough money for our plot in Gokonda. Or we can move here to Fernley and do the same thing. So we'll be training in Fernley until we get the plot in Gokonda. And that means we'll move our peel box here, and we'll be creating our structured videos around fixing the Yaris and all that stuff, and the hooking up the Speeduino here in Fernley. So please get your vote in on the community tab. The poll will last probably about a week from today, because we need to prioritize Poke Circuit, which means we need to get Poke Chat ready for Koopa so he can use that in his live stream on Twitch. And then we need to focus on our website. So we have a plan and a trajectory, and now we just need you to make the decision on what happens next. 8:30, okay? And I finished the chicken, and I've been kind of just doing numbers, you know, I've just been numbersing, and I think come up with sort of a plan. If we could save $640 per week, then it would take us about 8 weeks or 2 months to earn $5,000, which is what we need for the foundation. Now, due to the move and everything else that's been going on in my life, I only have maybe $300 in savings, if that. So what I would like to do is actually get that number up to around at least a month's worth of expenses. So we could spend 4 weeks saving the 640, which if we make $800 a week, then that gives us an additional $100. But we're gonna budget it at $700 and try to shoot for the 640. And I don't know, let's just call it 600 just so we have a buffer, right? 600 would give us maybe 3 months of savings to purchase the property, or to purchase the foundation. And then month 1, so next month, you know, this month is coming to an end, 6 is coming to an end, so 7, the entire earnings for 7, the 600 times 4, would go directly to our savings, right? So we have an emergency fund, and if anything happens, we have a month worth of living. Everything after that can go directly into the foundation fund till we get to that $5,000. Once we get to the $5,000, we can purchase the foundation, and we're good. This is a 4-month time frame, which is what Mark would give us if we lived with him. Or we could do the same thing here. It would probably be easier to earn the money in Vegas, but it's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. There are pros and cons to both. I mean, going down and living in Vegas again. So this is like a 4-month plan that can get us to the foundation. I would like to also, you know, be upgrading the car along the way, but that would extend the time frame out quite a bit. So that's why we spent this month sort of earning money and basically catching up, getting ourselves a little bit of savings, as well as purchasing things for the car because we needed to repair it. We needed to get the repairs done from Road Trip Quest, as well as, have some fun and upgrade it and allow the community to decide a few things on it. So I hope that makes sense, but that's kind of where we're at right now, because 140 is very doable and 160 is also doable. It just costs more time. The less time we spend driving and door dashing, the more time we spend upgrading the channel and the rest of our stuff, like progressing our other agendas. I hope that makes sense. If any of those numbers don't really make sense to you, or if I'm way off base or anything like that, please let me know, because I'm just workshopping this and I think that this is a doable, solid plan. I would eventually like to have either another Yaris or at least another engine. We're approaching 240,000 miles. Most people get 230,000 miles. Most people get around 250,000. I've heard reports of over 300,000 on these engines. Our engine seems strong with not any real issues, so I hope that it can stay that way. We use, Valvoline oil, we change it regularly, we take care of this thing, but we also drive it every day and it starts and stops all the time. So it's our literal livelihood right now. Sure, if it breaks down, then we could get a job at, anywhere, McDonald's if we had to, or we could, stick it out and get another job in the slot gaming industry, but it's not something I want to do. I want to progress my life in this way. We have a lot of control over our time and everything that we're doing by door dashing. Yeah, I just wanted to give you the numbers, and before you voted on whether we stayed in Fernley or went to Vegas, some benefits of staying in Fernley are, we're completely independent and self-sufficient. There's a part of me that doesn't like relying on other people. Mark is offering us his home in a private space. He's going to give us access to a garage. He's going to give us the freedom to leave. He's not going to charge us anything more than electricity. And he's creating an opportunity that most people will never get. But it's also off of his back, his place, his thing. And for somebody like me, that's not an easy thing to do. I don't like taking from people at all. Like I said, as much as it's a amazing, beautiful opportunity from somebody who doesn't need to do that, it's not necessarily something that I want to do. Part of me wants to do this completely on my own. Maybe it's some stupid pride or self thing. I don't know what it is, but there's another part of it that is, other people may not have that opportunity. And the whole point of buying a Yaris and living out of my car and doing all of this was to show people that it was something anybody could do. $2,000 is what we paid for this car. It's an amount of money I believe anybody could obtain with the right amount of work and savings. Granted, we're only making $15 to $20 an hour. You could get a job anywhere and probably make $20 to $25 an hour if you really wanted to. But jobs like that come with their own set of setbacks. They also come with a lot of perks like healthcare and a schedule and guaranteed hours and things like that. But they also come with things like politics and managers. And again, I have this issue of self-reliance, and I like to be self-sufficient, and I want to pull myself up. I want to generate something from nothing besides my hard work and my willpower and brain, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who feel incapable and stuck and not able to do things because they're tied down to a job or debt or whatever. And yeah, if I had a bunch of debt and student loans and things like that, this would be impossible. But I spent the first half of my life getting myself to a position to where I wasn't in that position. That's where we're at now. You have the decision to literally affect my life. I will do whatever the community votes for. I hope you're along with me for the ride. I hope you enjoy this. I hope that this transparency can, you know, inspire and unlock people. I am a person who is self-taught. I did not graduate high school. I am a high school dropout, and I have worked next to people with master's degrees. I've programmed complicated systems, and my code is working today in some companies. And that's not to brag. That's just, I literally have a low IQ. When I put low IQ homeless person does X, it's because when I take an IQ test, it's low. I'm not a smart person. I'm just a persistent one. And if you've ever felt incapable, just like look at my content. There's you have to be like, this guy is an idiot. If he can do it, I can do it. And if not, then you need to have more belief in yourself, and you can only gain that by doing things, by I personally struggle with this. I tell myself I'm worthless and useless and incapable, and I can't and I won't and I fail, but the thing is, what I tell myself and how I feel are separate from my actions. Because when I look back on my life, it doesn't matter what anybody's ever told me or anybody's ever said to me. I can look at the actions that I've taken, because we aren't what we say we are. We are what we do. We are what we do to other people. We are what we affect the space around us. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a good time and enjoying the content. If not, please give me feedback. Let me know what you'd like to see or what I'm doing wrong, or if there's anything else you want to say. If you're struggling or dealing with something difficult, remember how you handle the situation. It's something that this song has said, Little Hell. It's a song that really touched my heart, and it's by Dallas Green. And if life is about the little hells, and it's not going through it, it's not being inside the hell that matters. It's how you get through the hell that matters. And your character will get shaped by how you handle the situation and by what you do. And even if you're shaped in a way that you don't like, we are the marble and the sculptor. So remember that it's painful to change. It's painful to do the hard thing. The situation you're currently in is not the situation you will always be in. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. I have been playing Pokemon Sword. I miss old games where you just run around and do the thing.